We're staying with football, but now from the island of Jamaica. 5 of the 7 matches in match week 17 in the Red Nephew Jamaica Premier League were completed on Sunday. And although all of the top 3 teams will be in action today, there was still some good quality around the league. Let's first have a look at those 5 completed games and the results. Chapleton Maroons 0-0 with Molynes United. Cavalier 2-0 over Dunbeholden. Harbourview and Humbleland 1-1, both teams ending 4-match losing streaks. Vere United beaten 2-0 by Portmore, who ended an 8-game winless run. Tivoli Gardens 1-0 over Waterhouse. Those were the games yesterday. Mount Pleasant Racing and Arnett against Montego Bay United. 2 games live on SportsMax 2 this evening. The first of our 2 featured games was the 0-0 draw between Chapleton Maroons and Molynes United, and both head coaches felt that their team spurned chances to get all 3 points.
We had a bit more control of the game. We created some opportunities. We should have scored today. This should not have been a 0-0 draw today based on the opportunities created on the pitch. But in the second half, we got a bit rugged. We started making the substitution. We lost a bit of our structure. And we have to keep working on that and get it right for the future.
I thought we were a bit wasteful in front of goal. I thought we created some good opportunities. McGregor had one. Man the goalkeeper alone, and at this level we should be doing better. But again, we created some more half ones and we just never took them. I thought in parts we could have, settled a little bit more and play some more combination plays and try and go through the lines a little bit more. But guess what? We did well in some areas today, and there are a lot of positives to me, and for that I'm happy.
Yeah, that was the opening game of the afternoon's doubleheader on TV, SportsMax, showing those games live. The second of our featured games, Tivoli, well, they eked out a 1-0 win over Waterhouse in a rather testy affair, and we have those highlights.
So we were sent underway about 5:30 early in the game. Free kick opportunity for Nikolai Fuller. Foster saves. Those two will meet again this time. Well, that time from the penalty box. Chance for Waterhouse. Nathan Thomas stealing in. Booth will be involved in a couple of attacking moments for Waterhouse, but couldn't get a shot off. Robbed by Cavan Wilson. Booth took a couple knocks during the game. Blair. Long shot for which some Waterhouse fans thought had found the back of the net, including her. Martin Davis with a driving run. Barrington Price's hand getting in the way of his shot. This was a chance for Waterhouse to soothe their goal-scoring woes, but Andre Fletcher only added to them, dragging his penalty wide, badly wide. Still can't score Waterhouse. Then, not long after that, this chance, Bernardo Thomas racing through, sets it up for Fletcher, must score. Diego Horton blocks with his feet. Late in the contest, look at Lennox Russell playing as a centre forward, rolls Zakia Wilkes, who had cover. He dragged Russell down, and the referee said penalty. So Waterhouse missed theirs. Tivoli did. Nikolai Fuller stroking home with power. Foster gets the right way. He's less than a half an inch away from it, you believe. But too much power on the drive from 12 yards, and Fuller makes no mistake with his penalty. McCain, late on Howard Morris. Second yellow card, has to leave the game. So Tivoli had a decent stretch of the second half to finish with 10 men, which they did without much scare, or many scares, as they see off a Waterhouse team.
Yeah, and here's what both coaches said after the match.
Make in front of the goal today was poor. I thought we angled the game, but I thought we dominate most on the position. I just thought that, we're not ruthless, and something we're working on. It's a very long season, and, I say a whole lot positive today. Amos, the last game he played, the last 13 match, gave a world-class performance today. So, those kudos to them. I thought, Tivoli do what they do to win the game today, and I said kudos to them, but we will need to fight the next day.
First and foremost, congratulations to the Tivoli family. Well tried the home team Waterhouse. Today it was a pretty much very physical, tactical game on both ends. It was a situation where no team wanted to make any error in defense. It resulted in both teams giving up penalties, and we converted, they miss, and kudos to the boys, they have done well today.
And after that, here's what the table looks like ahead of the completion of today's doubleheader. Mount Pleasant out front, 37 points, 3 in front of Montego Bay United and Arnett Garnes, both on 34 points. A further 3 points back in fourth. Cavalier, who got goals from their teenagers, Chris Ainsworth and Adrian Reed in their victory yesterday. Portmore United on 27 points with Waterhouse. They're occupying 5th and 6th at the moment. Harbourview and Humberland bottom of the table. I can tell you that Mount Pleasant are leading Racing United in the current game by 2-0. Shaquille Bradford among the scorers, so he's now got 6 goals in the last 6 matches for Mount Pleasant, and the ex-champions and current leaders are doing a good job against the St. Catherine team at the moment. And just to look back at what happened yesterday, Mariah and Ricardo, Waterhouse having real problems. They are a team that has a history of playing solid offensive football, but they aren't getting goals this season. I'm not sure what's going wrong with them, because of all the teams in Premier League football in the last 2 decades, I don't think any team has more Golden Boot winners than Waterhouse. We're talking Kevin Lamey, Irving English, Tuffy Anderson twice, Shaquille Bradford, and last year Javane Brand. So offensively, they have got goal scorers. I guess if you're not providing your goal scorers with opportunities to score, then it will impact your offensive game.
Yeah, and this season has been a real struggle for them. I mean, just 17 goals in 19 matches.
Which is unlike Waterhouse.
Very much unlike Waterhouse. And it's not as if they are not creating opportunities, though. And we saw last night they even got a penalty, was unable to put that away. They did bring in Atafaroy Bygrave at the start of the season, and he was to help with that in terms of scoring goals for them. When I saw him early in the season, I thought he got a number of opportunities that he wasn't putting away. But I also feel that subsequent to that, it's been more an issue of Waterhouse creating enough chances. That wasn't the case last night, though. They certainly created the opportunities last night, but they just couldn't put them away. And it's for Marcel Fuzzy-Gale now, this is something that he will have to pay close attention to. Waterhouse still in a qualifying position at this stage. Of course, a long way to go in the regular season. But Tivoli, 3rd last season in the regular season, Lance, where they were brilliant the first season with Jerome Waite in charge. And this season they've started slowly. But Mariah, I feel as if they are going in the right direction now.
Tivoli.
They are Tivoli, they are 4 points off the playoff spots at this stage, but they've lost just one of their last 5 games, I think, with 3 wins involved with that as well. So, and if you know Jerome Waite teams over the years, he emphasizes fitness quite a lot. So he fully expects at the back end of the season, where many teams are tiring, that his teams really get to full throttle and become extremely difficult to beat. And they could be especially dangerous this season because the season is longer. The regular season is around longer than previously. And so Tivoli could be especially dangerous if they follow the trend of what Jerome Waite teams have been over the years.
Yeah, because we're not yet halfway through the season, because they now have 3 rounds of regular season football.
So that's worrying for Waterhouse, who...
Well, no, it gives them time. It gives them time to fix the issue, because it's not as if Waterhouse don't have quality players. There is a lot of quality in that setup, and Marcel Fuzzy-Gale must now figure out how to get them playing together,
Can he?
creating and finishing the opportunities.
But based on what you know of him, do you think he has what it takes to figure it out?
Lance?
Yeah, well, Fuzzy-Gale, well, he hasn't been a championship-winning coach at this level, but he has coached Waterhouse to 3 consecutive finals, so he knows how to get the team to the deep part of the season. So he is a quality coach, but there are things that they definitely have to work on. And as we discussed earlier on, finishing and getting their offensive game more clinical is a job that he has to work on in the coming months.
Yeah, and one of the things the teams definitely don't want to do, yes, it's a longer regular season, but you don't want to get into the thinking of, well, we have a longer time to get it right and get things together, and then you leave it too late, or you
But
just
you're
don't get it
tired then.
together at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, they want to get into a situation where they sort of separate themselves from the non-playoff positions. But I think it's going to be really riveting at the back end of this Premier League season, because I think a lot of the teams are close.
But I always worry when the season is longer, because I always think about injuries. I always think about people getting tired. It's the same complaints like in the
You
EPL,
train
the
for it
Champions
though,
League.
and you plan for it.
But it's the first time, so
Say that again?
it's the first time the season is so long, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
for most of these players. But yeah, you figure it out. And I think Jerome Waite may just have the formula.
All right, formula.
Yeah. Break time. Back with more on the SportsMax Zone after this.